So let's take a look at how easy it is to use custom fonts on your WordPress site. So as an example here, I'm going to stick to Google fonts, which are free and easy to use, and you don't have to download them and upload them to your site. It's so easy to put them in there. Maybe use a font as your text font, your main body font, or maybe just use it in a title or just a single case. So let's start by going to Google Fonts. So it's fonts.google.com, and there's tons of fonts that Google lets you use. So we can pick one out here that kind of is different than anything else we've got, but something we might want to use. Like here's this lobster font. That's kind of a nice font that could be used for headlines and all sorts of things. So I'm going to hit the plus button there, and it brings up this one family selected. I can click there and it brings it up. The reason it says one family selected and lets you select more is you can add multiple fonts. So we're just going to stick with one font here. And then you have the ways that you can embed that font in your site. We're going to go to the import method. So click on Add Import there, and then there's this style here. We don't need the style tag, but we do need the import command. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to switch over to the dashboard and go into Appearance and Customize. And under this is where I'll customize my theme. So I've got additional CSS here. I'll click on that, and this is great because I can add additional CSS without actually changing the theme files. So here's where I will paste in that import statement and put it on a line by itself. So this is basically going to import that font from Google's fonts.googleapis.com site. So I didn't have to do anything except put this piece of text in here. I didn't have to FTP or edit the files directly or anything like that. Now I need to use it. Now this is a live view of what's going on. So if I put more CSS here, it will actually reflect what's going on over here. So I'm going to, as an example, say I want to change the body font. So I can do font.family and say I want that to be lobster. And you can see it immediately reflects that here, and the body text is now this weird font. So that's great. I can hit publish and I'm done. Probably don't want to go and do that with this font. I might want to have, say, the title there. So there are a lot of different ways you could figure out what the CSS here. You could look at the code on the site to figure it out. I believe it's entry title. There it is. So entry title with a dot in front of it because that's a specific class. That will give you just those. So now I can change that. That's kind of neat. How do you find out what it is? Well, as I said, you could look at the font here. So here's like the regular post. If I'm using Safari here, but every browser's got a way to be able to see the code on the page. So look through the menus for that. This is under the develop menu, and I can show the page source. And I can look through here. I can actually just do a search and search for today's test post. And it should come up. There it is. It's got it wasn't searching for the apostrophe there, but I can see that it's class equals entry-title. That's how I was able to figure out that what I should change here is .entry title. So you could use that for a variety of things and add a bunch more changes here to use that font throughout the site. On the other hand, you could just use it on the post itself. So I'm going to take this away, but it's still loading in the font. It's just not using it anywhere. So I'll hit publish. So now the site is going to just go and use that font, but it's not actually putting it anywhere. So I'm going to enter a new block here. I'm going to add the post, and I will add a new block, and I'll make that HTML, custom HTML. And here I can do something where I change the font family. So I can do, like, say, a span of text where it's the style equals font-family lobster, and then say this is special text. And I want to close that with a span. So I could put other text that is outside that span in that same paragraph. So now I can preview this, and let's see, I should update it. There it is. So this is special text there, and there's other text. So I was able to easily just insert it there, and I could maybe use that for just a special paragraph or a special quote or something like that. So a couple of different ways to use custom fonts. I didn't have to access any files directly or do anything special or load anything on my server, and I was able to use all these cool fonts that Google provides here of all sorts of different types. So something you may want to do if you ever need it.